Hey, how are you? I'm good, thanks. So, Madden Web, the movie that no one wanted, the movie no one asked for, the movie that everyone thought was gonna suck and flop at the box office, came out. And guess what? It sucked and flopped at the box office. I think it cost $80 million and it only made $8 million in its first weekend. $8 million. There are houses in my city which cost more than that movie made during the opening week. And so it's Sony's desperate attempt to keep the Marvel universe alive, you know? So like I think they're trying to do the Sinister Six. So they got Morpheus, which that movie sucked, and they got Vulture, and they probably have a few of the Venom bad guys like Carnage or whatever. And yeah, that's it. So Madam Web isn't a bad guy. She's a good guy. She's like a minor character. So only thing Sony has left is these minor characters no one cares for. And Madam Web's definitely one of them. Firstly, she's meant to be like old in the comic books, I believe. Everyone was saying they should get Jamie Lee Curtis to play her. But like Jamie Lee Curtis just won an Academy Award. She's not doing crap like this. So they ended up getting a younger cast led by Nepo baby Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey fame, and It Girl at the moment, Sydney Sweeney, and a bunch of other actors. And like, no one cared about Madam Web. Like, she wasn't a good. No one was calling for a Madam Web like freaking movie. And like, they're really scraping. They had Uncle Ben, who is an important, interesting character in Spider-Man, but he's only important and interesting for like 30 seconds. His whole point is to die, and inspire Peter Parker to become Spider-Man. So apparently Andrew Garfield was meant to be in this movie because they wanted him and I guess Madam Web and the other girls to team up and take on the Sinister Six. I think oh, this still sucked, but not sucked as much. I don't know why they wrote him out of it. And the people who wrote this terrible film was the same guy who wrote Morpheus, the other terrible film, which sucked. The thing I hated most about that movie is they kept like these bats in like this glass box, and every time you saw the bats, they were just flying around. I'm like, no, bats just can't fly around non-stop. They need something to perch on, and there was nothing to anyway. So Madam Web can see the future, and I think she can do over things. Like there's a scene in the diner where the bad guy comes and kills all of them. Then she's like, let's do that again. And then when she dies, it flashes to her outside the diner, like in the past, and she goes, let's do it again. She goes in and stops the bad guy. That could have been interesting if it was 5 attempts. Like she went in there 4 times and got killed. Then on the 5th time, she kind of fixed it. It's kind of like that movie Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, where that movie was meant to suck and the trailer made it look like crap, but it was actually pretty awesome. So that movie was about like fighting aliens and repeating on a loop until like you're successful. So yeah. So the most talked about thing about this movie, Madam Web, apart from it sucking and flopping, is some guy got kicked out of cinema for jerking off over Sydney Sweeney on screen. She wasn't there. I'm thinking they should just allow that. That'd be the way they could get their money back, just like, okay, this movie sucks, but come in, you can jerk off over Sydney Sweeney or Dakota Johnson or any of the other girls. So it's just a bunch of like nerds in the cinema masturbating. Then there's like this one guy who gets into the wrong cinema and he's jerking off, and the usher shines a light on and goes, excuse me, sir, this is the Trolls movie. I think you need to be in the cinema next door. And he's like all embarrassed, like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like trying to scoop up his lube and popcorn and drink and still trying to put his pants up. And all these kids and mothers are looking at him, shaking their heads. He's like, I'm sorry. So it's the classic thing. The bad guy in this killed Madam Web's mother when they were in the Amazon studying spider venom or something. It's just the most cliched freaking origin villain story. So they're in the Amazon, so I'm guessing they were doing experiments. I think it was a brand new species of spider, but The world's most venomous spider is actually from the Amazon. A lot of people think it's the funnel web, the Sydney funnel web found in Australia, but it's not. It's the wandering spider. So the wandering spider is the spider which bites you and gives you an erection. I'm sure everyone knows that fact. So maybe the guy who was jerking off in the cinema just got bitten by one of those wandering spiders. He was inspired by the new Spider-Man movie to go out and buy a pet spider and it bit him in the good direction. But I reckon the bad guys in this movie should like be experimenting with wandering spider venom, and so they get superpowers from it. But the side effect is they all got these massive erections. So like they're all like muscly jacked with all these weird superpowers, but they got these massive erections. Yeah, that's the only way they could make this movie better, you know? Just girls bashing the shit out of these guys with like massive erections. But yeah, I kind of want this universe to go alive, like, because they created a bad guy at the end of Morpheus, and there wasn't really a cliffhanger at the end of this one. But I just want to see how it goes. I just want to see how far down the rabbit crap hole this universe can get. I reckon like Sony should just embrace these movies being crap and just make them crapper. Hire crappy, washed up actors, hire reality TV stars, hire porn stars. You know, just like, yeah, these movies are crap, but let's just finish the universe. Let's just make it cheap. Maybe make it so bad it's good, and like a bunch of stoners can watch midnight screenings at cult cinemas in the future. That's where our money can be. So Madam Web and Morpheus both sucked. So I wonder how bad the Batgirl movie that Warner Brothers is sitting on and refusing to release. I mean, I kind of want to see that one. I mean, I had low expectations for it, but I just wanted to see Brendan Fraser as a bad guy. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I guess you could quite say he was a bad guy in The Killer of Flower Moon. He was a dodgy lawyer. But I want to see him as like a supervillain bad guy. I think his name was Firebug or something. Firefly or something. He had like guns that spat fire or something. Talking about crappy movies which were sitting on the shelf for decades, I think that like Jerry Lewis movie where he's a clown in the Holocaust is allowed to be shown this year. I think it's 2024, could be 2025, but it should be shown soon. And that movie is meant to be suck. I mean, Jerry Lewis did a few crap movies near the end of his career, so imagine how crap this one is. This is the one he's like, no one's seeing this, you know? So, yeah, it should be interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this, and let me know what you think. Have you seen Madam Web? What do you think about it? Maybe you're like one of the few people who like it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Kieran Dotton, out.